They'll tell you London swallows the timid, but some players arrive like they brought their own floodlights. Mohammed Kudus comes from Nima, Ghana, where the dream started at Right to Dream, and every bus ride to training felt like a promise. From there to FC Nordsjælland, to Ajax's pressure cooker, to the bruises and big nights at West Ham, each stop sharpened the edges of a fearless 1v1 attacker who doesn't wait for the game to come to him. Now it's Tottenham, £55 million, new era. Thomas Frank on the touchline and a debut that felt like a statement. 2 assists in a 3-0 win. Richarlison grinning under the south stand and the lane buzzing like it hasn't in years.
For you, Richie, twice this man next to you set you up today, and a wonderful finish from you for the second.
Yeah, thank you for assist. I'm so happy with this guy. I think next week this guy needs to score because he worked too hard for the team.
This isn't a highlights merchant, it's a problem solver. When the match slows, Kudus speeds it up. When space is tight, he makes it wider. And for a fan base craving bite, bravery and Champions League nights with end product, here's the winger who looks defenders in the eye and says, "Let's dance." This is the story of how a kid who refused to blink turned a London rivalry line into the first West Ham to Spurs move since Scott Parker, and why his rise feels inevitable. So, who is Kudus? Let's dig deep. Mohammed Kudus, the kid from Nima who turned a crowded park into a stage. In Accra's Kawakuri Park, Mohammed Kudus learned to trust a first touch in chaos and a left foot that could quiet a street.
He ate always bread, eggs, avocado, salmon.
I like that. Avocado toast with salmon on top?
Yeah.
Okay, are you guys ready for the third dish?
Nah, I'm still eating.
Neighbours still talk about the day he was 11 and scored 6 for Strong Tower FC in a junior friendly. Not because of the tally, but because he kept asking for the ball when others hid. Joshua Ioba, the local coach who first called him world's best, saw more than tricks. He saw a boy who listened, learned and came back the next day. Opportunity met intention through Books and Boots, a community tournament that mixed football with reading. Kudus crossed the road with his cousins to play, impressed the organisers, and soon a Right to Dream scout asked to meet his family. At the academy, he found a language for ambition. Mornings were classrooms, afternoons were rondos and 1v1s, evenings were film and feedback. Coaches remember the way he shaped his body before receiving, the little feint that opened a lane, the calm when older players tried to rough him up. On European tours, the team went unbeaten and Kudus carried a quiet certainty. He was not just playing to escape Nima, he was planning to bring it with him. By the time FC Nordsjælland came calling, the bridge from Accra to Denmark felt built for him. He adapted quickly, rotated across midfield and attack, and learned how to turn pressure into space. Ajax followed, and with it a higher bar. There he added minutes as a false 9, sharpened his box runs, his great dribbling skills, and learned the rhythm of big European nights. Through every step, the same thread runs. He stays grounded, returns home with boots and encouragement, and carries the can-do spirit of Nima into every duel. That is who Mohammed Kudus is, and how he rose. Tottenham moved for Mohammed Kudus because the profile and the moment finally aligned. After a turbulent second year at West Ham, Spurs saw a market window for a 24-year-old who had already proved he can hurt top sides and carry a team up the pitch on his own. The deal, worth about £55 million on a long-term contract, is a statement of intent and a rare line crossed in London. The first time since 2011 that Spurs have signed directly from West Ham. It also fits the new manager's brief. Thomas Frank wanted a left-foot attacker who could break pressure, attack defenders one-on-one and press with real intensity. Kudus checks each box. The pitch to the player was simple. Come in as a right-sided forward first, where your acceleration, inside cut and near-post finishing are most natural. Expect competition from Brennan Johnson, who was the Spurs top scorer last season. But also, now that Son left, expect minutes on the left when rotation bites and minutes as a central 10 or false 9 when the game needs a runner instead of a pure playmaker. That versatility is not a problem to solve. It is the reason he was signed for a squad that will be playing Champions League football and needs a high-ceiling option in multiple roles. The fit on the grass is easy to picture. In a 4-3-3, Kudus starts wide right, receives to his feet and drives at fullbacks, while Pedro Porro overlaps or underlaps to drag the second defender. When the ball is on the opposite side, he attacks the far post, a movement that gave him easy goals at Ajax and West Ham. In a 3-5-2, he can work off the striker, pinning a centre-back with his body strength, then spinning into the half space to shoot or slide a pass into the channel. Out of possession, he gives Frank what he demands: aggressive first steps, a clean press angle on the opposition fullback, and the legs to recover if Spurs lose the first duel. Yes, there were dips at West Ham, but much of that came from system churn and role changes. At Spurs, he is being hired to do the thing he does best: face the defender, commit him, decide the game. By 25, Mohammed Kudus already has a winner's resume and the numbers to match. He lifted 2 Eredivisie titles and the KNVB Cup with Ajax, silverware that arrived while he was still learning new roles and new rhythms in Europe. He turned that team's success into personal recognition, taking Ghana Footballer of the Year in 2023 and sweeping major swag honours across 2022 and 2023. England saw the fireworks. In his first West Ham season, he produced a goal of the tournament in Europe, winning UEFA's Europa League Goal of the Season for a length of the pitch solo against Freiburg, and it also won West Ham's own award. He followed it by leading the entire Premier League for successful dribbles in 2023-24 with 124, a stat that speaks to his gravity with the ball and how often he breaks first contact. Across clubs, the production is steady. Ajax 87 appearances with 27 goals and 12 assists. West Ham 80 with 19 goals and 13 assists. Nordsjælland 57 with 14 goals and 3 assists. Those totals underline more than 220 senior club games before his move to Spurs. For the country, he is in his 40s in caps with double-digit goals for the Black Stars. Add continental recognition and the picture sharpens. Kudus was named in CAF's Team of the Year 2023 and again in 2024, a nod to consistent impact at both club and international level. So, who is Mohammed Kudus at this moment and what comes next? He is the kid from Nima who turned crowded parks into rehearsal space, the academy product who learned to mix humility with edge, the Ajax graduate who proved he can score, create and carry a team up the pitch when the air gets thin. Tottenham have paid £55 million for that mixture of bravery and end product, and it is not a small thing that he is their first signing from West Ham in 14 years. That tells you how much they believe in his ceiling and his character. Spurs wanted more than a highlight reel, they wanted a game changer. Kudus has already shown he can tilt big games, including a standout display against Manchester City during their title run. He had other options, but his message was simple: I only wanted Spurs. That matters in a dressing room that is chasing Champions League nights and sharper standards. Under Thomas Frank, the fit looks clear. On the right, he gives Spurs a direct runner who commits defenders, opens space for overlaps and attacks the far post when the cross comes from the opposite side. Central, he can play off a striker, receive on the half-turn and break lines with the first touch. In the press, he adds speed and intent, the first trigger that sets the tone for everyone behind him. Surrounded by finishers like Richarlison and runners like Brennan Johnson or Dominic Solanke, his numbers should climb as the structure around him stabilises. Yes, consistency is the next step. That is what separates exciting from elite, but everything in his rise points to a player who meets the moment. If he brings Nima's courage and Ajax's polish to North London, Spurs have not just signed a winger, but a problem solver.
And if you could change one thing about the football industry, what would it be and why?
Open up more opportunities from where I'm coming from, because I believe there's more, even better talents than I am that I saw growing up, but they haven't made it because of opportunities.